because of those existing agreements, what you're describing has little practical effect because Fannie and Freddie are telling those services to continue with the foreclosure process, not the final sale, but the foreclosure process, the intermediate steps to get there. And so we have a real problem on the ground that needs to be addressed.
Senator, if I may, to the extent the concern is about GSE loans, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac loans, I would like to say that that is under our authority. It's not, while it is run in tandem with and is meant to be in alignment with the HAMP program, those are not HAMP loans per se. And I would be glad to speak to the concern you have about dual tracking and with respect to what is said about the enterprises, because I think that this is a matter of confusion, not just for home buyers or homeowners, but it's confusion in a lot of other places as well. I think that the responsibility here and the way this is run for enterprise loans, which is in harmony with what is done in the HAMP program, is that as soon as a borrower starts missing payments or reaches out and contacts their mortgage servicer that they have a difficulty with their mortgage, there's a single track, and that is to work on a loss mitigation option that is tailored to the particular circumstances of that borrower. Foreclosure does not begin, and that's what we should be working on. But at some point, foreclosure does need to begin, and that typically is at 4 months. And as has been reported in the testimonies of several of us and has been discussed at this hearing, the foreclosure process is extraordinarily long. And so I think that, we've got to be a little bit careful about terms here. To have a dual track, if you've got a foreclosure process that's going to take a year or more, means that while you're going through that foreclosure process, there remains an opportunity for the homeowner to cure that loan or to qualify for some other kind of loss mitigation activity. I fully understand the concern about the confusion for the borrowers, and I think we all have a responsibility, to be working on greater clarity for the borrowers. But at some point, once the foreclosure process starts, I'm looking at having to conserve the assets of these enterprises on behalf of the taxpayer, and I do think that I've got a responsibility, as conservator, for the lengthy foreclosure process to be moving along if we are not making, hitting a meaningful milestone with respect to loss mitigation alternatives that are offered, and these offers are numerous. So I would just like to sort of leave it at, we absolutely want the servicers of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac loans to be doing everything possible to come up with an appropriate foreclosure alternative, starting with a loan modification. That must start months before any foreclosure processing would start. And if there's meaningful progress and milestones met on those loan modification activities, foreclosure will not start. But once the foreclosure process does start, I do think that there's a responsibility to be moving that along, and when a successful trial mod is initiated, consistent with the terms of the HAMP program, then we will cease the foreclosure proceedings.